Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop right there. This channel is not intended for kids under the age of 13. So if you're under the age of 13, please leave.
Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video. Today we have Mezco's Rumble Society Doc Nocturnal, and I am super stoked to have this figure. Right when I saw it, I'm like, I gotta have it. With Mezco doing their own IP figures, it's hard to say no to them. Some of the Gomez, you could probably sort of say, maybe not, maybe, you know, but these Rumble Society figures, they're so unique, and they come packed with a bunch of goodies. It's just, you could tell the company and the designers and artists are having fun with these figures compared to some of the other figures that they do. And it comes in that typical looking Rumble Society packaging. I'm assuming this is going to be their typical style packaging because we did get this package with Baron Benz as well. Both sides of the box say Rumble Society in that glossy font, and it looks great. Pops off that matte finished packaging. And the back of the box doesn't really show anything besides my fingerprints and a bunch of legalese and UPCs. So let's go ahead and dive in. I want to do the opening actually on camera because this is sort of like the cool thing about it. We got this magnetic clasp. We get it to open up. Ew. What the heck is that? It's like some white residue. It's on both sides, I guess, where the magnet pushed through. But bam! That artwork is sexy. I love this artwork more than the Baron Benz. Like, I love the way that looks. It's awesome. It's a very nice piece of art. And then we just take this, and it should just sort of slide out on the sides. I'm taking the tissue paper with it, because there's tissue paper underneath, to reveal Doc Nocturnal and all his goodies. And that's not all his goodies. So let's go ahead and slide this out. So this is one tray. So we got his hands, gas mask, alternate heads, a bunch of stuff that we're going to be seeing. And then underneath, all extra gadgets and that awesome artwork on this stand. It's like, I just wish Baron Benz was as good. So let's see if we slide this out. Okay. Again, if I can say I could slide this out. So you got couple trays. You got this tray, and then there's the tray with the stand underneath. Instructions, the Mezco stuff. But one thing that's not in there is we didn't get a print of the actual artwork like they did with the Baron Benz. Like all Mezco 112 collective figures, you get a baggie to store all the crazy accessories that you get with your figure. Then you get that typical style Mezco stand, and this thing is probably one of my favorite stands. Looking at it, I love the artwork and the design on this thing. This one looks amazing, and you also get the little dynamic stand that if you pop out that peg, this just plugs right in. Right out of the box, my first impressions of Doc Nocturnal is it is exactly what I was expecting it to be. It looks amazing. And in person, oh, it is a solid looking figure. Out of the package, Doc Nocturnal comes with a pair of fist hands, and they are pretty much the same Gomez hands that we've seen before, but they're done in red with a dark wash over them, giving it a nice little dirty, gritty look, and they look great. We also get a pair of nicely sculpted open palm jazz hands. We get a pair of gripping hands. We also get one trigger finger hand right here and a support hand right there. So we get a C is for cookie grenade holding hand or support hand. And then what's odd is we get another right-handed trigger finger, sculpted slightly different, but it's still a trigger finger. The last hand that we get is the Scouts Honor Salute Jutsu hand. Now the Doc does come with a pair of gold trimmed goggles with a translucent lens. You can see it's almost like a greenish blue, gray, whatever color you want to call it. It looks sort of greenish and blue. And it is translucent. You can see the strap peeking through when I move it. It's sculpted very nicely. We got the elastic straps. Paint is on point pretty much. And just a nice little add-on. Doc also comes with a gas mask with the same translucent lenses that we saw in the goggles. Same color. I love the gold trim. The bronze just keeping that like vintage steampunk feel going. It's all plastic, and we got the straps that are sculpted, painted very well. We got the piece on the back. It's awesome, and this whole like tube connection goes down here to this little clip, but the tubes are bendy. They're the ones like we got with Baron Benz, which is awesome. I love these style of tubes. They just look really nice. Then he comes with that signature Tommy gun, and this is straight up like the character itself is like from a Dick Tracy radio series, and it's awesome that we got a Tommy gun. It's sculpted pretty nice, paint's there, and we got the drum magazine going on. It looks very, very wicked. We even get the hole in the front to put in the shooting effects, which we do have those, and it's pretty awesome. And the fact that he actually comes with an extra magazine is even better, and I'm going to zoom in right here so you guys see that line at the top. Now, in order to put this in, you need to make sure that line is pushed up and you slide it into place, because it will not stay in. You got to slide it in and sort of stop it in the middle for it to hold its spot, or else you're not going to get these magazines to stay in. Definitely one of his more signature weapons, we get the Ferryman, and that is what it is called. And this gun can shoot any type of ammunition, and it's sculpted so nice. I love the web on the handle. I love the skull on the side. It has that retro alien gun type of, the shadow type of pistol. I don't know. It's pretty awesome. It's painted very, very well. This is actually hard plastic, so be careful not to break that off, but it is sharp. And this pistol's wicked. I love how it looks, and it's cool that it actually can shoot any type of bullet. Now, he does come with that multiple bullet effect. I was going to attach it to the Tommy gun to show it off, and there's no peg on it. It's not broken off. It just never came with the peg itself, so I got this effect that I can't really use. That's a bummer. Now, we do get a single bullet effect that can plug into the Tommy gun or the Ferryman, and this thing just looks awesome. I love having blast effects and bullet effects. It definitely adds to the character. Now, we do get 4 Hades Inferno thermite frag grenades, and they're sculpted really nice. You can see the silver and how it's basically like a pineapple grenade, so you can see the fragments that'll burst out, but it's also a alchemy type of grenade to where it can not only hurt people, but it can also fight like monsters and ghosts or whatnot. Looks very, very cool. I love the sculpted skull. They put some love into this, definitely. Now, we can't forget about the death ray, and it's fueled by Doc's X13 formula. It's labeled right there. It looks awesome. It looks like a battle-worn, basically flamethrower-looking device. It's pretty wicked. I love the harness. I love the scratches in the tanks. I love this whole like rusty-looking tube coming off the back. It's awesome. I love the little skulls on it. And when you get it around, you can see the harness on the back. It's red, has the skull on it. Sculpted detail is there. It is disgustingly sexy. I love the strapping. It's got the little clips and everything so you can adjust it. It's awesome. And this hose leads all the way to the actual gun part of it. And that hose is actually a bendy wire hose. So it's not going to get in the way because you can bend it out of the way. That's an awesome thing. And this thing looks great. It's got a big old hole on the front to put a blast effect, and it's a pretty solid sculpt and paint job. Now, we do get that death ray effect just shooting off there. And I mean, this is stuff that we've seen before with Mezco. Like, a lot of you probably like, we've seen the flamethrower before. We've seen the blast effect before. Well, who cares? Let them reuse some parts because they look great. They aren't exactly the same. And then they casted the effect in a different color. And this color, besides it looking like a spectral green, it actually will glow in the dark, which I will be showing you guys the glow in the dark effect once we get into him getting all posed up with some gear on and stuff like that. But this thing looks freaking awesome. I love that color, and it just fits really well with a death ray. Here we got the Iron Talon grappling hook / tool, and it's painted very well, sculpted really nicely, and wait, is that gross? You guys see that? See that there's a hair coming off of that little piece? It's right, if I can point it like right there, you can see the hair. That's That's sort of gross. I got a hair stuck to my paint on my figure. And one thing with this, the clasps I thought were supposed to open and close, but mine are so tight I can't open and close them, and I'm afraid I'm going to break it. So if you guys pick this figure up and yours can open and close, just comment down below and let me know if that's what they're supposed to be doing or if they're all stuck in one sort of generic position. Here we got the Iron Talon in grapple mode, which looks awesome. And again, the clamp does not open and close on this one. They're very tight. Almost like if I were to try to open it, it's going to break. The wire, I will keep coiled up like that, but it is a bendy wire. And I know for a fact that it can suspend the figure without worrying about it breaking. So that's awesome that you can actually utilize a grappling hook. Here we got the device, and this is a device that is supposed to distort time and space so he can, basically pause time. Sculpted really nice. Looks like my green might be a little bit off on the paint job, but it's super tiny. Sculpted pretty nice. Painted as well as it could be, I guess. As you can see, it's like super, super tiny, and there's a peg, which I will show you where to peg this bad boy in. Now, we do get an alternate head. It's another skull without the angry eyes. This one is green and black. Looks pretty awesome. Sculpted very, very well. That's something Mezco can do. Their sculpting can be pretty much on point. We get a weird green insert, which is different. But the skull actually looks like it's casted in black, and this green part is painted on, which I thought it was going to be more casted in green and painted black. So it's going to be interesting to see how well this glows with it being a glowing paint versus a plastic. And the jaw is articulated on this as well, so you can get him just screaming or just talking or just chomping away. Doc Knock up close looks pretty awesome. I love that skull. I love the angry eyes. I don't understand why they just didn't continue with that, angry eye look for both the skulls. And he does have a black cloak going on, and it looks really good. It's like that pleathery texture going throughout, and it's folded that way because there is a wire in it, and that's how he comes packaged in there to keep him sort of the cloak under control, which I like. So I'm probably going to fold it back to that at one point, but of course I'm going to get him out and pose him up and bend the wire. And you could see up here he does have a button, like a snap around his neck. And speaking around his neck, we do got a skull, plastic skull emblem on his chest, which looks very, very cool. And that webbing that is throughout this chest piece is great as well. We get some sort of meshy arms and everything. And we do get some really cool looking forearms. Now, be careful when you're changing his arms out, because this whole section came unplugged. I plugged it back in. Hopefully it'll stay, but just be careful with that. It's definitely something you got to worry about, but I love the wash they did over the red instead, just keeping them red. We do get this awesome utility belt with his pistol holder with the webbing going throughout. This thing looks great. We also get a bunch of those are the pouches for the grenades for behind them. That's awesome. Get a little loophole for something there. And I like that. Giant belt buckle. And we get all these pouches. Now this pouch right here is the one that has the peg, so you can unplug it and put that time alternating device right there. But I like that. And actually the webbing is on the back as well. So it's like he's wearing a little webbed tunic. I dig it. We also get the sort of nylon looking legs with the stripes going down, and the stripes are in a darker red that blend really well with the red that they used. And then we get into his boots, all that stitch work, just like his forearms. All this stuff looks great. I love the texture. And one thing that's really awesome about it, ready? You guys ready? Boom! We get webs on his feet and skulls. I love these that little detail. That's awesome. That's really cool. Let's go ahead and dive into some articulation. His head can look down and can not really looking up. So his jaw is articulated as well. But let me slide this hood off. And let's take a look at what he has underneath. So we got the neck there. Oh, his head just sort of popped off. So it's Why'd that pop off so easy? It doesn't even really like snap. So his neck moves a little bit, but he's not going to be able to like look up like really at all. So he can look left and right. You know, he's got some attitude going on, and that's all blurry, and I apologize. So you get some attitude and everything in this head, but don't expect him to be looking up like he would be if he was Iron Man flying through the sky. Arms, they are on a disc hinge. They can go up that far. He does have bicep swivel there. We get double jointed elbows that give a nice angle, and we do get wrist rotation and bend. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, he does have this nifty little skull watch, which is called the Night Watch, which, you know, I'm like, man, that's too much Game of Thrones like, but it's really cool, and it flips up. So this allows him to actually communicate with the living dead, which is awesome. Paintwork there is good. It's awesome. I just like the little details they're putting into these figures. So really good articulation when it comes to the arms. And as for the body, you get, you know, he does have a ab crunch, the upper ab crunch. You get that movement going on there. And then we do get some lower bending. So we get some bending like so, and some lean back as well. I got some weird red fabric or something sticking up there. Waist swivel, I guess his legs do have like a swivel going on there. It's a little weird loincloth. Splits, you could get them to go pretty far, but at a certain point, that elastic spandexy, you don't want to overstretch it. You don't want to tear it. So you get some good articulation there. As for kicking forward, man, he could definitely kick forward there. He can do a field goal. He does have the double jointed knees. No boot swivel. A little bit of ankle bend, and not really much pivot going on there. That's unfortunate. And then he does, I can feel a thigh cut up there as well. So plenty of articulation. All right, so I got Doc Nocturnal all geared up with his cloak unraveled. And when I said that I wasn't going to keep it unraveled, I was going to fold it back up after I was done playing around with them. Yeah, that ain't happening. This cloak is awesome. The wires are great. I just wish that there was wires in the back, which we'll rotate and I'll show you why. But I have him holding his Tommy gun, which looks awesome. It just, the hands and stuff make it hold so natural. And I even have his gun in the holster. And then, as you can see on the back, there's just this floppiness a little bit. Like, it's sewn, but I wish there would have been like one more wire more in the middle to add that more flaring up type of effect. So we do get the grenade holders on the back. Can only hold 3. I could probably put the 4th one on this little key ring, but it almost looked like you could put the tool in that little holster, but it didn't look so forgiving if you tried to actually put that in there. So be careful if you're going to try to put the tool, his iron talon in the back. And I also did exchange out the pouch for his little time control device, which is awesome as well. So this figure definitely is cool. One thing I do have an issue with, and it's probably because of the cloak, but his mouth, you can't really keep it open. Like, I don't know if I have to look it up a little. There we go. You can open up a little bit and you just be like, it's such a cool figure. I mean, jeez. I knew they were going to make this figure, but I didn't realize they were going to go to this extreme. This is sick. This figure's awesome. I hope if you guys are watching this, you were able to obtain this figure, because he is very, very badass. With the goggles on, holding a grenade, shooting his pistol. I mean, it's awesome. I like it. Now, the goggles on the head, as I bring him in a little closer, let's focus it there. Now, I brought his goggles on originally to put over his eyes, and I just don't, as I drop the grenade, I don't care for the goggles over the eyes. They're almost like they're designed to be more on his forehead than actually on his, like, eyes. Now, I have him all posed up with his death ray, the glowing skull, and the gas mask, and it looks awesome. And with it all together, I just put the pieces together. Like, he fights like vampires, ghosts, and undead, weird creatures and stuff like that. This is a proton pack, guys and gals. Like, this is like an old school vintage proton pack. in a sense. That's what it reminds me of. Looking at it all together and what he fights as well, like, that's what it reminds me of. It's pretty awesome. Now here we got the black light out. Let's go ahead and see how well he glows. Let me go ahead and cut the light out. And that blast effect definitely glows really, really well. Very subtle glow up in his skull area because you can't really see it. And you can see the actual blast is starting to diffuse from its brightness. So I just took the gas mask off. Now keep in mind, to get the gas mask on, you're going to want to pop his head off, slide it in the gas mask, then pop the head on. Getting it off is a little bit tricky. I couldn't really find a perfect way. You just had to sort of wedge at it a little bit. There's no easy way to pop the skull back out of the gas mask. So it is a little bit of a challenge, but let's go ahead and check out what this guy looks like under black light with the mask off. Here we got them all charging up. Let's go ahead and turn off the black light. And you can really see the glow. Like, the face on his glow on camera looks all right. And you can see as it's starting to diffuse. I wish the actual protons, like, blast, the laser, whatever, glue a little bit longer. And we do got a little bit of issue with this skull. So as you guys can see, the skull under normal lighting is green, looks awesome. It just has that little, like, it's sort of like Skeletor feel coming from it. But let's go ahead and take a little bit closer look at the glow, and you can see where a little bit of my disappointment in my tone is coming from. Can you guys see that? Look at all the speckles. I wanted it to be as green as it was with the lights on when it's glowing. Now I got all these crazy speckles. When I turn it off, you can still see the speckles instead of it just being a solid, clear green. Again, look at all the speckles. So besides the glow skull being all weird and speckly, this figure is on point. You know, I have a little bit of QC issues because of this sort of forearm came popped off when I was changing out the hands, but I was gripping it by the wrist, so I don't know why the forearm would have popped off. And then missing that tab on the blast effect and the crimping of his little grappling hook not opening and closing, which still I don't know if they're supposed to or not. I thought they were, so if somebody got this figure, please let me know down below. But overall, the figure's awesome. It is a very, very fun figure to pose up, has a lot of attitude and character. I mean, Mezco's own IP, their figures are through the roof. So if you see Rumble Society, you see Gomez, you gotta pounce on them because the quality is there. It's definitely there. You could see the love. You could see that they have more freedom with these characters. I mean, it's awesome. They're creating this little universe. And that sums up my unboxing and review of the Mezco's exclusive Rumble Society Doc Nocturnal. If you guys like what you saw, hit that thumbs up for me. New to my channel, hit that subscribe button. There's a lot of you that are watching my stuff that aren't subscribed, so just hit that subscribe button for me. It'll mean the world. And if you guys want to know when I post up a new video, just hit that silver bell notification for me. And also, I want you guys to make sure you check out Toyco Toys and Collectibles. The website's down below. There's a promo code just for you guys to get free shipping on anything you purchase off of that website. So definitely utilize that. And make sure you check out the pre-order group that's on Facebook with Toyco, because it keeps you in the know with collectibles. Like, you can pick up some Mezco figures through Toyco as well. So just jump into that group and you can see what's coming out. It tells you the release date. And then Andrew posts up there what his cost will be. So it's all straightforward, and it gives you plenty of time to save up to get these imported figures and these little bit higher costing figures. So definitely check it out. And I want you guys to have the best luck hunting, keep on collecting, and have a beautiful day.